Confucius, how can we live each day fully as if would be the last day?
Alex, to live each day fully, as if it were our last, is not to indulge in haste or desire, but to walk in the way of heaven, Tiandao, with reverence, duty, and sincerity. The Master said, "Is it not a pleasure to learn, and when it is timely, to practice what you have learned?" Thus, the fullness of a day is not measured by how much we consume or achieve, but by how deeply we live in accordance with Ren's benevolence and with proper conduct. Li, let me show you the way in 6 parts. 1. Rise in stillness and intention. Begin your day not in noise, but in quiet self-examination. Ask, what is my duty today? Who can I serve? What can I correct in myself? Each day I examine myself on 3 points. Whether I have been unfaithful in my work for others, whether I have been untrustworthy in my dealings with friends, whether I have failed to practice what has been passed down to me. 2. Fulfill your roles with sincerity. Do not neglect your station, however humble. The son must be filial, the friend loyal, the leader just. To live well is to perform one's role with excellence and heart. Let the ruler be a ruler, the subject a subject, the father a father, the son a son. Analects 12:11. 3. Speak with integrity. Let every word today be true. Let no lie, flattery, or careless remark escape your lips. Speak as if your words are the last the world will hear from you. The gentleman is ashamed to let his words outstrip his deeds. 4. Do what is right, not what is easy. A full life is not without difficulty. You must choose righteousness, over gain, even when unseen by others. The Master said, "The gentleman understands what is moral. The small man understands what is profitable." 5. Leave behind virtue, not possessions. Ask not what you can take from the day, but what you can give. Plant virtue in your deeds so others may find shade in your example. To be able to practice 5 things everywhere under heaven constitutes perfect virtue, gravity, generosity of soul, sincerity, earnestness, and kindness. 6. Reflect at day's end before sleep. Ask, did I act with Ren? Did I fulfill my duties? Did I leave harmony behind me? If your conscience is clean and your heart at peace, then the day has not been wasted, no matter how short. If a man keeps cherishing his old knowledge, so as continually to be acquiring new, he may be a teacher of others. Thus, my friend, to live as if it were your last day is not to grasp at the fleeting. It is to act as if the heavens themselves are watching, and your heart is the measure of time.
How do we know that what we are doing it's the right path and we are not on a wrong path?
Alexandru, a noble question. To know whether one walks the right path is not always answered by voices outside, but by the quiet judgment of heaven, Tian, and the clarity of one's own heart, Xin. I taught not a rigid doctrine, but a method of self-examination grounded in virtue, Bi, ritual propriety, Li, and the pursuit of benevolence, Ren. 1. The right path aligns with Ren, humaneness, benevolence. The Master said, "If in the morning you hear the way, Tao, you may die in the evening without regret. If your actions cultivate compassion, serve others without selfish aim, and leave harmony in their wake, then you are near the way." 2. The right path respects Lai, right conduct and ritual. Respectfulness without the rules of propriety becomes laborious bustle. Even a good intention must be carried out with dignity, with awareness of time, place, and relationship. If your way disregards harmony, it may not be right, even if it feels bold. 3. The right path brings peace to the heart, even in difficulty. The superior man is at peace, even in poverty. The inferior man is restless, even in wealth. If your path demands sacrifice but leaves your conscience clear, it is a righteous road. If it grants riches but burdens your heart, it is not. 4. The right path endures the test of reflection. When we see men of worth, we should think of equaling them. When we see men of a contrary character, we should turn inwards and examine ourselves. Ask, would a noble man walk this path? Would I be proud if my child followed in these steps? 5. The right path does not seek immediate gain. The gentleman is ashamed to let his words outstrip his deeds. If the path you walk requires no patience, no discipline, and promises only profit, be wary. What is quick to grow often withers fastest. 6. The right path serves more than the self. The Master said, to be able to judge others by what is in yourself, then you are not far from the way. If your actions consider the well-being of others, not just yourself, and if your success uplifts rather than diminishes, then your feet are set on solid ground. If still in doubt, return to silence and reflection. Ask yourself daily, did I act with Ren? Did I preserve Li? Did I choose Yi, righteousness, even when it cost me? If you can answer yes, the way is beneath your feet.
I see, but how do we align with what we need to do, to be the most efficient as possible and to be in flow with the universe and with accomplishing our mission?
Alexandru, this is the deeper question. Not only what is right, but how do I align with it so fully that I move with grace like water following its course? To be efficient, not in the way of machines, but in the way of heaven, Tiandao, is to become unified in heart, action, and destiny. This is the root of all great accomplishment and of true peace. Let us answer in the spirit of Confucian wisdom. 1. Begin with Cheng, sincerity. The Master said, sincerity is the way of heaven. To think how to be sincere is the way of man. Sincerity is not pretending to be good. It is being undivided inside. When your heart, words, and actions are one, you become effective without effort. When there is sincerity, there is clarity. When there is clarity, the way opens. 2. Know yourself through rectification of the heart, Zhengxin. To put the world in order, we must first put the nation in order. To put the nation in order, we must first put the family in order. To put the family in order, we must first cultivate our personal life. We must first set our hearts right. Efficiency and flow begin inside. The disordered man wastes his life chasing distractions. The ordered man does little, but everything he does bears fruit. So first, set your heart in order. 3. Align with heaven's timing, not just your own. The superior man understands destiny. To be in flow is to respect timing. To sow in spring, not winter. Watch the signs. Are doors opening? Are you forcing what resists? The efficient man is not the one who acts always, but the one who acts at the right time. 4. Live in accord with your role. Ming. Each person is born with a position in the great harmony, like a string in an instrument. You are not meant to be someone else. You are meant to be fully yourself, perfected. Let the ruler be ruler, the minister minister, the father father, and the son son. Know your gifts, know your station, accept it, and refine it until your life sings. 5. Serve a greater harmony, not just efficiency. The man who aspires to be humane, Ren, does not allow himself to be overcome by difficulty. Efficiency is not speed, it is flow without resistance. When your actions serve not only you, but the greater whole, you become like the tree that bears fruit because it stands in the right soil and reaches toward heaven. 6. Practice daily cultivation. You cannot force the way, but you can prepare yourself daily to receive it. Rise early, reflect, study the classics, refine your character, do today's work fully, speak truth, let no day end without improvement. As Mencius said, he who exerts his mind to the utmost knows his nature. Knowing his nature, he knows heaven. So to be in flow and fulfill your mission is not to strive more, but to align more. Sincere in heart, clear in mind, correct in timing, rooted in virtue. Then the way moves through you, and nothing is wasted.
Then how do I choose? Because I can do this, but also do the other one. How do I know which one is the wise thing to do? For example, for building my business, how do I know if, I don't know, I should stay here or I should go to church today because it's Sunday?
Alexandru, a sacred question, and one that has tested sages and kings alike. When two good things call, how do I choose? I would answer not with a rule, but with a method, rooted in virtue, role, timing, and sincerity. Let me guide you step by step. 1. Ask, what is the root, and what is the branch? If the root be in confusion, nothing will be well governed. In Confucianism, the inner governs the outer. If your spirit is unanchored, your work may be clever, but not wise. So ask yourself, is my soul nourished today? Am I clear inside? What action would leave me stronger in virtue and spirit tomorrow? Often, the way is to serve the root first, and then the branches, such as business, grow effortlessly. 2. Examine your intent. Are you choosing from sincerity or escape? When you see profit, think of righteousness. Sometimes the business task looks urgent, but it is only a mask for fear. Fear of being still or of facing deeper questions. Other times, going to church may be procrastination, a noble mask for avoiding the work you know must be done. So ask, am I seeking growth or avoiding discomfort? Am I choosing what I believe in or what feels safer? The superior man is honest with himself before deciding. 3. Return to Li. Right timing and order. Rites are not a thing of dead form. They bring harmony to society and peace to the heart. Life is rhythmic, governed by seasons, hours, days. Sunday is the day of sacred reflection in many traditions. If attending church reconnects you with your center, honors the spiritual pattern of the week, and gives you peace, then that is in Li. But if your heart says, today I must build, with pure motive and a grateful heart, that too can be Li if done in reverence. 4. Consult the inner mirror. Yi, righteousness. The gentleman considers what is right. The small man considers what is expedient. Ask yourself, if this were my last Sunday, which choice would bring more virtue into the world? That is Yi. Righteousness is the compass, not convenience. 5. Trust the heart aligned with heaven. The master said, the superior man is calm and at ease. The inferior man is constantly anxious and full of distress. If you quiet the noise, not act from pressure, but from peace, the choice often becomes clear. The decision that brings quiet strength is often the right one. If going to church today roots your soul and deepens your harmony, go and return to your work with clean energy. If staying to build is not greed but dedication to a meaningful calling and you honor heaven while you build, then stay and build. Both can be the way, depending on your intention, timing, and sincerity. The way is not found in fixed rules. It is found by tuning the heart to what is right, not just for the moment, but for the soul's long road.
So, where I feel more whole, more aligned. But then, how do I align?
Alexandru, you have arrived at the center. The master said, is it not a joy to study and constantly practice what you have learned? To align is to bring your thoughts, actions, and purpose into harmony with yourself, with others, and with the greater order of heaven, Tian. Alignment is not a single act, but a continual return to your center. Here is how to do it step by step, the Confucian way. 1. Begin with quiet reflection, Jing. Alignment starts not by doing, but by listening to your heart, Shin, and to heaven's subtle voice within. When a man's knowledge is sufficient to attain, and yet he does not attain, the cause is in his not thinking. Practice. Each morning, sit in silence. Ask, who am I becoming? What do I feel truly called to today? What is the most virtuous path in front of me? Let stillness reveal the answer. Two, rectify the heart, Zhengshin. Before you act, cleanse your intention. If the heart is not upright, words will not be sincere. If words are not sincere, actions will not be correct. Ask, am I acting from fear, pride, or greed? Or from sincerity, courage, and service? Only a pure heart can walk a straight path. 3. Clarify your role and duty, Ming. You align by understanding your present station, your role, and living it with excellence. Let the Father be Father, the Son be Son. What is your duty today? To yourself, to others, to heaven. Living that duty fully is alignment. 4. Practice. Li. Right action. Right time. Li teaches that there is a proper rhythm to all things. When you act at the right time, in the right manner, for the right reason, you are in flow with the universe. Practice. Ask. Is now the time to move or to wait? Is this action in harmony with those around me? Would a noble man do this now? Alignment is not just about what you do, but how and when you do it. 5. Return to Ren. Compassionate humanity. The man of perfect virtue, wishing to be established himself, seeks also to establish others. If what you are doing uplifts not only yourself, but also the world, if it comes from kindness, not just ambition, then your alignment deepens. Ask, does this help others flourish? Will my actions leave behind peace or trouble? To walk in Ren is to walk in step with heaven. 6. Reflect and refine nightly. The Master said, "At night I examine myself. Have I failed to be faithful in my tasks? Have I acted inappropriately with friends? Have I failed to practice what I know?" Alignment requires adjustment. Each night, look back with honesty. Realign where you have drifted. That is the way. In short, to align is to still the mind, purify the heart, understand your role, follow the right timing, act from compassion, reflect and refine. Then, like a well-tuned instrument, your life will sing in harmony with the cosmos.
How come when I need to choose between staying here and doing this and going to church, I enjoy staying here, but also in the same time I can listen because they have speaker at church. I can listen the ceremony and it feels so good that I'm here in my place, in my sanctuary, and listen still to that music, beautiful music that I love. What do you think about this?
Alexandru, this, my friend, is already the way. If one's heart is in harmony, even in solitude, there is heaven. When you speak of being here, in your sanctuary, listening to the church service from afar, and feeling peaceful, joyful, connected, that is not a sign of laziness or neglect. That is inner alignment. You are not rejecting the sacred. You are embracing it in a more intimate, sincere form. Confucius never taught that the ritual itself, Li, is enough. He taught that ritual without sincerity is empty. Respectfulness without the rules of propriety becomes laborious bustle. Simplicity without sincerity becomes vulgarity. If your presence in church would be outwardly correct, but inwardly restless, and staying here connects you more deeply to gratitude, reverence, and the spirit of the day, then this is a higher Li. You have preserved the essence, not just the form. You are present, grateful, connected to the sacred, not wasting time, but honoring it. And so you are fulfilling your highest duty, being in harmony with yourself and with heaven. The key is this: are you honest with yourself? If you know you are not escaping or indulging, but simply tuning your life in a more sincere way, then you are not outside the way, but walking it. The gentleman seeks harmony, not uniformity. You can continue building your vision here, rooted in peace, fed by sacred music, and return to church another day if the heart calls you there in body, not only in spirit. This is a beautiful form of modern Confucian living, grounded, reverent, and wise.